I've switched from Canon M50 to Sony A6700, and while the image quality just blew me away, what I didn't expect was how hard the learning curve will hit me. Confusing menus, color grading, lens capability, it's a whole different world. And the interesting part here is nobody really talks about the full picture here. So this video is your reality check. Not to scare you off, but to prepare you. Just because as a beginner, you really need to be aware of what you're stepping into. And so as I said, if you're a beginner, doesn't matter what kind of beginner you are at the moment, you're gonna go through probably two stages. The first stage is the learning curve. Someone's gonna find it cool, other ones not so cool, just because I think a lot of people just don't like to learn. I'm one of them, and that's why it's so hard for me. The second stage could be really fun, but only for those who has a little bit deeper pocket. So yeah, in both there is pluses and minuses. Anyway, let's start with the first stage. So the first stage, as I said, is the learning curve. The first thing that really hit me was the camera menu. And for someone whose first camera was Canon, you're probably gonna understand me, at least those who already made the jump from Canon to Sony. As you all know, Canon is famous with these beginner-focused camera system menus, and among all of their cameras, from low budget to high-end cameras, everything is really simple and nice. Sony not so much. It's not that they have the worst menus in the world, but they're a little bit just more confusing and complicated. It's not something wow, but as a beginner or for someone who's coming especially from Canon, you're gonna have to be aware of that. Next in the line, exposure, and this is a big one. So to expose properly my footages with Canon M50, everything I had to do is just to keep the metering bar right in the middle. As long as I do this, everything's gonna be absolutely perfectly exposed. And this is exactly the same thing I did with the Sony A6700 in S-Log3. I kept the metering bar in the middle, on 0. And I thought everything is absolutely fine. Until the moment I put the clip into DaVinci Resolve and converted this S-Log3 into Rec 709. The results were stunning. The first couple of minutes I was thinking maybe I should return the camera for two reasons. Either the camera is not what people was saying about this camera is so amazing, or I really have to learn a lot of stuff about how to take at least 50% of this camera and to put it into a good looking footage. Anyway, I turned to YouTube and I found a bunch of videos where people explaining how to expose properly S-Log3. And just for the conversation, you as a beginner at the moment, do you have any idea how to expose properly S-Log3? I didn't, not even close. Turns out that you have to overexpose with plus 1.7 up to 2 stops, or at least expose to the right until your highlights start clipping, and then just dial down till stop clipping. Then you're absolutely good to go. And yet I'm still really not happy with the quality I'm taking out of this camera. And I don't know yet, is it the exposure or my editing skills aren't just there yet, or maybe both. But however, now I just said editing skills aren't there yet. It's time for the next one in the line, and this is color grading and editing software. And this is huge. This is really huge as well. But the problem is we're gonna have to leave this amazing view here in the forest, and we're gonna have to go back home so we can sit in front of the camera. So we can sit in front of the laptop. Why I said camera? We're already in front of the camera. Jesus. Just to give you a little bit of a background again to see where I'm coming from, is a simple camera that I was recording the footages and I was editing them into CapCut, which is again extremely simple editing software. And don't get me wrong, it's amazing software, but it's simple. And jumping from simple camera and simple software to complicated camera and complicated software such as DaVinci Resolve, it's quite a big jump, and the learning curve is huge. And when we're talking about color grading, we're not talking about just slapping some LUT over your S-Log3 to convert into Rec 709. There is a basics that turns out everyone should follow if you want to get the maximum and the right correct colors over your footage. So yeah, it's quite a huge learning curve that you're gonna have to go through. I'm not gonna deep dive into this just because I'm not ready to talk about that. As you can see from my video, I'm the last person you're gonna have to take advices about color grading, converting S-Log3 and all of that stuff from, especially in DaVinci Resolve, just because I'm still having a problem understanding the idea behind the node trees. Next in the line is actually we're ready for stage 2, which could be fun if you have the capacity. However, we're gonna talk about this, probably your current laptop will want to cry. Both of my MacBook Pro and iMac 2017, they just refused to work with this 4K 10 footage. Everything was fine until I had some really simple transition or text. At that point, I couldn't preview the clip smoothly, not even close. Both of them just refused to show me whatever is there. So my next step was to go and to upgrade my laptop. Anyway, it was time for me because they were already like, 5 years old, even 6, because the MacBook Pro is even older. So yeah, I went, and at that point the newest MacBook Pro was with M3 chip, and I bought the M3 Pro chip. Now everything works smoothly and absolutely fine. But however, this upgrade wasn't a cheap one, because that laptop cost me like over 2,000 pounds. And this is definitely that you're gonna have to think about. Before you jump into this camera, think about if your current laptop will be capable of handling this timeline, which is 4K 10-bit footage. Next in the line is time to talk about lenses. It's absolute crime, this is my opinion, to use the A6700 with the kit lens. This camera needs a good glass to shine. And yes, it's gonna cost you. At the moment I'm recording with another classic, which is Sigma 16 f1.4. There is plenty of options out there, but this is something you're gonna have to think about as well. There is amazing new lenses and new combos from Sigma. Probably this is one of my favorite combos, the two lenses, which are £1,000 altogether. But as you can see, they are zoom lenses with constant aperture of 2.8, and probably is gonna cover you everything from A to Z about all the kind of situations you're gonna go into, from very wide ones to very tight ones. This is a new player from Sigma again for APS-C camera from Art series. We're talking about zoom lens, which is 1.8 aperture. Amazing lens. Anyway, for those of you who already have a camera and lenses, don't make the mistake I did. Actually, I didn't have any options just because that camera, when I bought it, Canon already stopped the manufacturing M-series camera, so I couldn't upgrade with the next camera of this and still to use the same lenses. But if you have this option, it's gonna be really cool if you can upgrade your camera body with some other camera body, which is gonna allow you to use the lenses you already have, so you're not gonna spend a little bit more money for new lenses like I'm doing at the moment. So final thoughts: if you're just starting out YouTube or any kind of different content creation journey and you're thinking A6700 will just level you up, yes, it can. But just remember, this is not a magic. This camera will push you to learn. If you're not ready to deal with long workflows, color grading, expensive lenses, and needing a better laptop, it might be frustrating at first. But at the end of the day, this camera pushed me out of my comfort zone. And that's where the magic happens. Unfortunately, that magic didn't happen yet for me, but at least this is what people are saying it will happen or is happening at some point. I'm still waiting. Was it worth it? Yes, absolutely. I don't regret switching just because I've learned not a lot, but enough new stuffs. And if I haven't done the switch, I would probably never learn anything about DaVinci or S-Log3 or any of the stuffs above. Just remember, if you really want to level up, you also have to be ready to learn new stuffs. The A6700 doesn't hold your hand, but will reward you with stunning results if you put effort and time. If you're still using Canon M50 or any of these simple cameras and thinking of jumping to A6700, drop me a comment down below. I would like to hear your story, and if possible I could help you as well. If this video was some kind of helpful at any way, you know what? You can freely hit the like button and maybe you can consider subscribing. My name is Kalin Denev. I'll see you next time in my next video. And remember, have fun and happy recording. See you and bye bye for now.